What's up, y'all? In this video, I'm going to share with you my personal tips that I've done to grow my hair from the big chop to now neck length, shoulder length, so that you can also do the same if you're struggling to grow your natural hair out, or maybe you just keep starting over and you're trying to figure out where you've gone wrong. I've started over now many times, probably too many to count, and every single time I've learned something differently. So I wanted to get up here and share it with you, because in 2024 we are leveling up in every aspect of our life, whether that be personal development, care for your hair, self-care, your career, entrepreneurship, your job, whatever that may be. Spiritually, I want to see you level up. So I'm going to give you my tips, my tricks, some things that I learned along the way so that it could also help you out. So before we get started, I think it's important that you guys know the actual natural texture of my hair is not this. This is the aftermath of my hair being blown out. I naturally have 4C hair. It's very kinky, very curly. It draws up to literally like up here. And so that's my natural hair texture. I've done color to my hair. I've dyed my hair purple. I've dyed my hair orange. I've done the big chop. I've worn sew-ins. I've worn braids. I've worn crochet. I've pretty much done it all. I've worn quick weave, but let's go ahead and get into this video. I don't want to bore you guys to death with my own personal history of my hair. I want to actually like teach and educate you guys on my personal experience. So the first thing that I learned is to definitely do low maintenance styles. And by low maintenance, I mean like on your natural hair, you can do like 2-strand twists, you can do braid outs, you can do flat twists, you can use the rollers. Like finding you a good natural hair care specialist who can do little updos on your hair, little things like that. Anything that's low maintenance is like really, really good. Personally, my go-to is knotless braids. And usually knotless braids, it's not a lot of tension like on your scalp, so usually it's low maintenance in the sense that you don't have to do much to it once it's in, just keeping your scalp like constantly oiled, moisturized, all of that. Having low maintenance styles will really do your hair wonders because it's not a lot of stress on your hair. So this means like avoiding tight sew-ins. Like I kid you not, when I used to get sew-ins sometimes, the braider used to braid my hair so freaking tight. Try to avoid that if you can. Like I understand sometimes you want to bust down middle part, a nice sew-in, but if you can avoid it, really try to avoid it as you're like growing out your hair. The other thing is like real tiny braids, like those cornrows that's like literally like not even an inch, like smaller than your index finger. Like avoid super small braids. Have styles that's like easy to take out and truly low maintenance. All right, this sort of ties into the first thing, but basically I just feel it needs to be said. Stay away from just like tension, like a lot of tension. If the braider is pulling your scalp to a point where you see little bumps around the thing, or like you notice that the pull is so tight in the back that is literally bunching your scalp up, or that like you have redness, your hair is too tight. This truly means your hair is too tight and you need to take it out if you want your hair to grow, because it's ridiculous. Like your hair should not be that tight on your head. Like I understand having it knee tight and all that, but it's not good for your scalp. Like it's really not. So stay away from styles that have like high tension on your scalp, because I feel like that's just crippling your scalp, you know? Like it doesn't need to have that much stress. The next thing I noticed throughout my natural hair journey is that when I was taking vitamins, specifically prenatal vitamins or like a multivitamin, I literally noticed the difference. I felt like my hair just blossomed. And give or take, I've kind of gotten away from that, but I do want to start back adding that to my daily routine, because when I was doing that, I truly noticed a difference like over the weeks, months, and all of that with my hair. So if you have like a good multivitamin or like prenatal vitamins you can take that's giving you like all the nutrients and whatnot, I truly feel like it has a positive impact on your hair growth. And while we're on the topic of that, I will drop somewhere maybe in the comments or like in this video what type of vitamins I personally took, in case you want to purchase the same vitamins. The fourth thing, this one is very important. If you don't get nothing else from this video when trying to grow out your natural hair, get this: moisture. Our hair is like, it thrives off moisture. So you really have to find products that does not dry your hair out and really truly keeps your hair like moisturized, conditions. Like you can really tell the difference between when your hair is like super dry and brittle to when your hair is moisturized. I've personally noticed a difference as to breakage. When my hair is like super dry, it becomes very brittle, it becomes like very weak. But when your hair is moisturized, it cannot be stopped. So keep your hair moisturized. Find like a very good hair moisturizer to add to your daily routine. It will help your hair out a lot. Like that is, if you don't take nothing else from this video, take that bit of advice. This one is a gimme. I feel like everyone should know this. The thing is, people know it, but they don't actually do it. Keep your ends trimmed, y'all. I would, every time I went to go get my hair done, whether it be knotless or whatever style I would get, I would make sure that my stylist trim my ends. And the other thing I would recommend to that is choosing one consistent stylist to keep up with your hair, to keep up with your natural hair, keep up with your ends being trimmed, because I feel like if you go to one stylist to have your ends trimmed, say in January, because we're starting New Year off right, and then say in March or April, you go to another stylist to get your ends trimmed. I don't know what it is, but I feel like some stylists have different ways of like cutting or trimming, and so they may trim a different way, and literally by March or April give you a whole nother cut. So I feel like going with like the same natural hair care stylist throughout 2024 or throughout this year will really do your hair good. And having your ends trimmed also prevents breakage. So definitely continue to get those ends trimmed, because the moment you don't, like again, you will notice your hair will literally start coming off and your comb and your brush like falling out a lot more than what it usually would, because you're not consistently like getting your ends trimmed. So take care of those ends, girl. The next thing I will encourage you to do is stay away from dye. Like literally, do not dye your hair. I don't know, wear a wig, do something, but don't dye your natural hair. Like if you anything like me, like because like I said before, like our hair requires so much moisture. The moment you dye your hair, it impacts your hair. Like your hair will become dry if you don't keep up with it, which if you're anything like me, I was not keeping my hair as moisturized as I could have in both cases, and my hair was like flourishing at both times. Like, and then by the end of the experience, by the end of the time that the dye happened, like my hair would go from here to like here, and my hair has never been like past here, I don't think. Not since I was a little girl, but everybody hair is long when they're a little girl. But like in my adult years, I don't feel like my hair has been past here. So over the next 2 years, I'm gonna work to get my hair like down here. But yeah, if you can avoid dyeing your actual natural hair, go get you a wig, something, but don't dye your hair, because I feel like that would just impact your growth, you know? The next thing is, if you're going to be wearing wigs like all the time, at least do all the steps that I've mentioned up until this point. Like, don't just be like, oh yeah, because I'm wearing a wig, I'm just put my hair back, slap it in a bun, and then have your hair looking all crazy underneath, ends not taken care of, and you just slap it in a wig on top. No, don't do that. Don't be that girl. Like literally, if you're going to wear a wig, have your hair like cornrow underneath, have it to where you can like oil your scalp like every night, every day, like moisturize it, love on your scalp. With cornrows, your ends will be protected. So wigs are low maintenance, but like I be seeing some people, I'm guilty of this also, where like I used to just do like a 2-strand twist, another 2-strand twist, and then the whole top would just be like my natural hair, the combs will be poking through. It was just a hot mess. And then there's other people who do actually get their hair cornrowed, but then they leave it in for way too long. So like, use judgment, you know? Number 8 is when you want to sleep, wrap your hair at night. Everybody say this, you should already know it, but you know it, so just do it. Like, stop being lazy. I know, like, you're probably tired at the end of the day, you getting that big baby feeling so good. You're like, I don't feel like getting up right now. I'm gonna just go one night without wrapping my hair. The next night, you're like, oh, I didn't wrap my hair last night. I'm probably not gonna do it tonight. And it's just like a cycle down effect. I know, because I do it too. But I do notice a difference, like I said, as the days go on, between wrapping my hair versus just like leaving my hair out. It starts to get matted, like it's just not good. So wrap your hair, use a bonnet, get a scarf, do something, like wrap your hair up at night, like take care of your hair. The next bit of advice I have is to protect your ends. So before I talked about moisture, but when I'm talking about like protecting your ends, I mean like tonight I should not just go put on a bonnet over this and just go to sleep. No, When I'm talking about like protecting your ends, I mean, tonight what I need to do is like literally take each section, moisturize my ends, twist it up, put a little pin in it, you know, a little hairpin, and then put my bonnet on. Don't just have your ends just like out or throw it in a ponytail and just have it out. No, like protect the ends like they're gold, because your ends are literally gold. Like the moment your ends start acting up or like breaking off, I'm not gonna say it's over, but it's an L for you. You know, you gotta do more work. Definitely keep your ends intact, keep it moisturized, keep it oiled, keep it like twisted, braided, pinned, something to where it's not just like out in a bonnet. The next thing you want to do is detangle, 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 and deep condition. Me personally, I don't know how to deep condition my own hair. I have watched videos on how like different people decondition their hair. I mean, not decondition, but how people deep condition their hair, how they like just get all the moisture. I don't know how to do all that. So I go to the salon and I let them, my stylist, do it for me. They will deep condition my hair. I'll sit under the dryer. They'll detangle it. So if you know you have like a style in, whether you got a sew-in or braids for too long, like a month or 2 months, and you take your hair out and you just keep going on with life, but you never detangle or anything, yeah, wouldn't advise that. I did that. I've done that actually many times, and I have noticed a big difference as to when I don't detangle right away. Like I'll literally be like, oh, my hair look cute, I just took my braids out, it'd be all crinkly. I'd be like, oh, I'll wear it in this style for a few more days. Don't do that. Maybe a day, but after that, really like focus on detangling, like deep condition, because your hair has been like locked up for so long. Like it's not good to just keep going throughout the days, the weeks without going through that process. It's only going to like stunt your hair growth, and you're going to have a lot of, again, like breakage, and your hair is going to be coming off when you should have just gotten it like deep conditioned, detangled it, and got it back to like a healthy state after that protective style. And finally, this leads me to my last bit of advice is when you are wearing styles, do not keep it in for so long. Like sometimes, like I know it don't look that bad, and I know people be like, oh, I could just get a refresher on the edges and like the middle, do whatever, but please do not keep that style in for so long. Like it's going to, again, affect your hair growth. Like I said, I learned from experience, so everything that I'm telling you is because I've been that person and I've done that and it didn't work. And when it didn't work, I immediately noticed the difference. So I remember like one year I kept in some faux locks for so long, y'all, because to me it was still looking good. But at the end of it, it had a negative impact because it was very hard to get out. And that's the main reason why I don't recommend to keep styles in so long, because it's like the longer you keep the style in, like weave, especially like weave, more so weave is what I'm talking about. It's like it becomes intertwined, like a part of your actual hair. And then the moment you start to take out that style, y'all already know if you have weave or vegan weave, it like, you get like these knot balls. It's like so much oil and dirt build up, and you like gotta pick it out. Then by the time you notice, you ain't got no edges left. And yeah, but if you just took out that style like 2.5, 3 weeks earlier, your takeout process, your takedown process would have been fine. It possibly would not have been as much build up required, which will have resulted in less breakage. So overall, just don't keep your styles in for like way too long. Don't let it overstay its welcome. Those are pretty much like all of my tips to where, like, I feel like in both cases, both times I've done the big chop in the last few years, that is how I was able to actually like grow my hair out from big chop in less than 2 years to like this length. So for 2024, my goal is to go bigger, and grow longer. Like I said, by the end of not 2024, but like the middle of next year, 2025, I really want my hair to be like here. So I'm not only going to be practicing what I preach, you know, I will be implementing that into my daily life, and we'll see where it goes. And then finally, it's really nice when you can kind of like plan your hairstyles in advance. Like say for example, this month is January and you're like, oh, I'm going to wear my natural hair out for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to have my salon date on this date. And then in February, you know, I'm going to get like a simple braiding style to my natural hair. Then in March, it's my birthday month, I'm gonna get my knotless braids, my traditional go-to style like that. So you can sort of like not be reactive to your hair care, but more so proactive. So anyways, I hope you guys found this video to be helpful. As a reminder, these are the ways that you can grow your hair longer and faster this year, if that is a goal of yours. Number one, the first thing to do is to get low maintenance styles. Number two is do not get styles with a lot of high tension. Number three is to take prenatal vitamins or a multivitamin. Number four is to keep your hair moisturized. Number five is to make sure you get your ends trimmed on a routine basis. Number six is to avoid hair color, dyes, and everything like that. Number seven is to make sure that you're still taking care of your hair if you are wearing wigs or if you choose to wear wigs. Number eight is to wrap your head at night. Don't go to sleep without wrapping your hair. Number nine is to protect your ends. Your ends are gold. Number 10 is to detangle and deep condition your hair ever so often to make sure that it's staying healthy and alive. And number 11, my last bit of advice is do not keep your styles in for too long because, yeah, you don't want to do that. Anyways, if you found this video to be helpful, give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to get monetized in 2024. That's also a goal of mine. So give it a thumbs up. Help me out if I helped you out today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.